question came in earlier on one of my Twitter pages for JB when I had mentioned that PBR and Versus had afforded me this opportunity. And I thought it was an interesting question. It's a little bit out of the paradigm with the sport of professional bull riding and how it's growing at leaps and bounds, and we're really starting to see an influx of new contestants and new professional bull riders in the sport, and a lot of young kids like under 13 that are riding like ranked bulls that were, you know, almost NFR and PBR finals quality way back in the day. With these young kids, 14 years old, just starting out with a little bit of experience that are looking up to the top 45 and even the guys in the top 10 like yourself, JB, what advice would you give them for them to follow to try and get to be where you're at today?
Well, like I done from the time I was old enough to put a tape in a VCR, I watched bull riding. That's all I done. And I studied it. I watched guys that rode good, studied what they done, and I would videotape my rides, and when I look at it, see what I done wrong, work on it, and I worked every day to get to where I'm at. You know, just hard work, just keep at it, and don't ever give up.
And another question that I had that came in, it actually came from a bull rider who's just starting to get into the challengers and stuff like that, and a bull rider to bull rider question, who makes your rope, JB, and what plate is it?
Barstow makes mine, and I just recently started. He's been making them for probably a year and a half now, and they're really good ropes. And my handle is a 7, and my handle's a 5. My tail is a mushy 7.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
And we do have another question from the phones. We have a question from Cindy in Maxwell, Iowa. Please go ahead.
Thanks again, JB. Hey, couple quick questions. Obviously, for the riders, the bulls are very important. We've got 5 bulls up for Bull of the Year. Any predictions or any favorites of those 5 that you've got?
Well, actually, the 5 that they got up there now, the top 5 bulls, those are the 5 that I voted for. And so, like, any of those 5 bulls can, you know, be the world champion bull. They all buck every single time, and like if you ride one, you're going to be 92 or 93 on them every single time. So it's a toss-up between those 5.
Have you got a specific bull that you're sitting there going, boy, I hope I get this bull during the finals?
Well, there's a few of them that because every round's a draft this year at Vegas, so there's a few bulls in there that's thrown me off this year that I wanna get back at. Spitfire, Big Bucks, Scene of the Crash, all them bulls the ones that I picked and stuff earlier this year that threw me off are the ones I got on and didn't ride them. I'm looking for a little revenge.
Are you excited about those rounds all being drafts this year?
I love it. And it doesn't bother me a bit. Some of them guys don't like it. Some of them do, and it's fine with me because I can go in there and, you know, I pick my bull, and every time I pick one, I'm going to pick the rankest one in there, and because I want to win every time. And some people don't agree with that. They said, you know, because they want to go off the average, but only way to win the world is to ride ranked bulls.
Okay. Another question that I had for you. You've talked a couple times about some of the top names, but we've got an enormously fabulous rookie class coming in there this year. Could you tell us a little bit about what your thoughts are on some of these rookies? I know Reese Gates is one that I'm thinking of, and some of the others. What do you think we should be looking for as fans at the finals this year?
Reese rides really good. I didn't know him very good until he got to the PBR, and like Pistol Robinson, he's a rookie too. I've known him for a while, and he rides really good. And I think Reese is winning it right now, isn't he?
I believe so.
I think Reese is first and Pistol second. It's going to be pretty close between both of them because both them guys can ride any bull at any time, and it's probably just going to come down to who rides more bulls at Vegas.
Okay. I'll let someone else have a check crack at it. Maybe we'll talk to you again before the call's over.
Okay.
Our next question comes from Alvin in Irving, Texas. Please go ahead.
JB, along the lines of what Cindy was talking about the bulls you hope you draw, are there any bulls that you just absolutely hope you don't get matched up with?
Not really. There's been some bulls in there that guys didn't want to get on, and in Albuquerque this year, Dylan and H.T. Page got a bull called Hustler, and there's not a lot of people like that bull. They didn't want to get on him, and Cody Lambert said we were scared of him, so I picked him in the draft, and I ended up winning around on him, and I'm on. If there's a bull in there that I can be 92 or 93 on, then I'm gonna pick him because I want to. It's like I told her, I want to win every time, and whether I really don't like the bull or I do like him, I'm gonna pick him and try to hang on to him.
Another question. Back in Long Beach, I think it was in 1995, Tough Heeman rode Bodacious, and I think he scored 95 or 96 points on that ride. And do you think we'll ever see a true 100-point ride, or do you think that's just something that nothing will ever be that perfect?
I don't think there'll ever be a 100-point bull ride because, that would have to be outstanding. And I doubt there'll ever be another 100-point ride.
Yeah. Another question. Some of the Brazilians, a lot of them, they put their ropes on backwards when compared to most American riders. Is there an advantage to that, or has anybody ever explained why they do like that? They say it helps them. It pulls them back to the middle because that rope's pulling across their back. And like with my rope, a regular American-style rope, you pull it up on the same side your hand is, and when them bulls, get you into your hand, it's hard to recover from that. And they say when them Brazilian ropes, the way they're pulled across their back like that, kind of backwards, when you get tipped into your hand, that rope, when them bulls drop, it helps you pull you back to the center. I don't know. I had never really tried one, and because I've always, rode like that, and if it works, don't change it. Yeah. I was just curious. I've seen them do that, and it just seems to work for them. I thought maybe you had tried it once or twice and decided it just hadn't worked. I never tried it. I stuck with my rope. I thought about trying it when I was in a little bit of a slump, wasn't riding real good, and was going to try. I was trying everything, and finally I just said, you know what, just go back to riding bulls and do the basics, and I just had never tried one. Well, when you get in a slump, how do you pull yourself out? It's like playing golf. If you get to where you lose your swing, and then you start thinking about it every time, you're spending too much time thinking and not reacting. How do you get out of your slumps when you're riding bulls and trying to change stuff? That's it. You think too much is most of the time the reason you get in a slump. And the way I look at it is I rode myself into it, I can ride myself out. And if I get in a slump and I'm riding bad, I'll get on bulls every day of the week when I'm at home, practice bulls, 4 or 5 bulls at night, and just keep working at it, and eventually you'll ride back out of it. One final question. You're only about $16,000 short of passing the $1 million mark. Is that something you're thinking about, or is that just when you pass it, you pass it, and if somebody, or is it a goal you've got? Yeah, I really don't think about the money. I don't even look at the standings. Like when they asked me that question earlier about when you asked a question about 4,400 points behind him, do you think I could catch him? I didn't even know I didn't know where I was sitting at, and I don't pay attention to nothing to that, none of that deal. I just show up and ride bulls. That's the best way to do it. The only goal I've got is the world champion buckle. Well, good deal. I'll let somebody else ask a question now. All righty.